entire 11-year career with the Portland Trail Blazers, but could that be coming to an end? The 7-time All-Star has made it clear he does not want to be part of a rebuild. So the decisions made in Portland this summer will be major. Here's Dame during the Stephen A's World Megacast.
The Portland Trail Blazers are on the clock. They got to show a level of urgency or else.
I mean, I'm not even going, it ain't a threat. I'm not, I ain't going to say I'm putting them on the clock. I'm just saying, at this point in my career, it's, and I've told them this, I'm like, man, it's time to stop. We tried and all of that. I think our urgency has to go to, we have to get things done. Like this time around, we have to get things done. It's been back-to-back years missing the playoffs. It ain't a threat. I'm not, I ain't going to say I'm putting them on the clock. I'm just saying, if those things can't be done, we won't have a chance to, compete on that level. And then not only will I have a decision to make, but I think the organization will too. This is our most important offseason, since I've been there, just for us, for both, myself and the organization.
All right, Perk, Wendy back here with us. Stephen A., where's the best fit for Lillard?
I got to tell you, for me, I would go the route of Philadelphia. I would say this, but I just want to get a little personal here for a second. I've known Damian Lillard for years, and obviously I love him to death. That's one of my boys. Wendy, Perk, I will acknowledge on national television, I have begged Damian Lillard for years to come to the New York Knicks. I'm not going to lie. Come on, please come to New York. Please. The man and
what's his response?
His loyalty to the city of Portland has been unwavering and unshakable. This is the closest that I've ever heard him sound to being anything different. He's been steadfast about being a Blazer his entire career. He loves that city. He loves representing Rip City. It's just that now you look at the kind of season that they've had. I personally think that Chauncey Billups is an executive as opposed to a head coach. I think there's a different direction that they need to move in. They got some young pieces there, whatever. But I think that Damian Lillard needs to get the hell out of Portland as quick as he possibly can. He's got a top 10. He's top 10 in jersey sales. If he was in the New York market, it would easily be top 3, and we all know it. This is Dame time. Outside of Steph Curry, tell me definitively one point guard you'd rather have in the NBA who's a sniper, particularly in late game situations. How many people has he sent home in the postseason? This dude is a marksman extraordinaire. He's electrifying. He's a surefire future first ballot Hall of Fame. I don't give a damn what anybody says, okay? And and to me, outside of Steph Curry, there isn't a point guard in this league that I would want on my team more so than Damian Lillard. But because of the markets he's in, the amount of games he's missed, and the lack of success for Portland, we ain't even talking about him as an all-NBA player, first, second, or third team, even though we all know he is, just because of the circumstances he's been subjected to. He needs to get the hell out of there.
Right.
I think Philly would be ideal.
Wendy?
I'm going to run through this as quick as I can. First off, I want to commend Dame for coming onto your show, knowing he was going to get asked about this. Secondly, I want to commend you for asking him the tough questions, even when there was a commercial. He was ready to talk about there was a commercial. You had to go to break because the game went to commercial, and you came back and asked about it again. And Stephen A., I was listening to this, studying every syllable that he said because he's come up to the line as close as he ever has. He has given Portland everything anybody ever could have done. And honestly, I'm going to wait and see what happens in the lottery because they could get lucky in the lottery and that could change everything. It could change what they could trade the pick for. It could change the type of player that they get. So I don't think it's worth having a discussion seriously until we see the lottery. If he asks for a trade, he potentially is giving Portland another gift. And I know that it doesn't sound like that because he's everything. He's the greatest player in franchise history. But he's got 4 years and $215 million left on his contract. He's not easy to trade right now, guys. And if he waits another year, I'm not sure they're going to be able to get value. He's just had arguably the best year of his career. If he asks and takes the pressure off of Portland, they may be able to get more for him now than they could if they waited because of the contract. And I know that's not what they want to do. What they want to do is try to go out and get a star player. But there's like 7 teams trying to get stars.
They're not coming to Portland.
And they can't do the the Cavs or the Suns trade, Stephen A., because they don't control their draft picks. They have this pick that they owe the Bulls that is like protected until 2028. They can't offer the 4 draft pick trade to go get the star player.
Knicks can.
Maybe they could pry OG Anunoby out of Toronto or something. That's not changing their situation. So I don't know if this will happen. I don't know if he can bring himself to it. But if he asks, please, it could help the Blazers really go to another level. And just to be real quick before I toss it to Perk, the team I'm watching is the Miami Heat. The Heat are ready to go to their next star window. This is what the Heat do. The Heat hunt stars. His time would match with Jimmy Butler in terms of age. They have tradable things that potentially that the Blazers could want. I'm being a little premature, but that's kind of what I see happening.
All right.
Well, I look at Dame, and I look at Dame like we did with KG in Minnesota. Both was loyal to the organizations. KG was loyal to Minnesota, stubborn about getting out of Minnesota. But to Dame, it's time. Dame time is time to get out of Portland. And when you look at Dame, he has never played with another bona fide superstar. No disrespect to C.J. McCollum. And you know who that bona fide superstar that he needs to play with? It actually needs to be a big. And you know what big fella is putting in work that has led the league in scoring 2 consecutive seasons in a row is Joel Embiid. You know why? Because when I look at Philly, we don't know what James Harden is going to do. We know that James Harden loves Houston. Yes, he loves the Rocket organization, but he also loves what Houston brings to the table outside of basketball, and we all know what that is. So when I look at Joel Embiid and Dame Dollar paired together, that would be something special. And if you could find a way to keep Tyrese Maxey alongside that and get off Tobias Harris' contract,
You couldn't.
You could take on Dame Dollar.
No way.
No way. No way Portland's letting that happen. You ain't letting go of Dame and not getting back Maxey. That ain't happening.
I mean, okay, well, you got to give up Max.
But let me say this to you real quick before we end this segment. James Harden's playing outstanding. James Harden's a future Hall of Famer. Got a lot of love and respect for James Harden. I would take Damian Lillard over James Harden in a heartbeat. I wouldn't think twice. If I was Philly and I could get my hands on Damian Lillard and I had to forfeit James Harden, I'm not talking about trading anything. I'm just saying James Harden walked out the door, so be it. Because that's how much I did. No shade on James Harden. That's what I think about Damian Lillard.
You'd almost be ready to cover that Philly beat again if he was there.
Hell yes. I'd make a lot of trips to Philly for Dame Dollar, without question. Without question. Without question. And the Knicks, by the way.
Okay,
if I'm the Knicks, I'd offer Barrett and 4 picks to bring in Dame. And I'd figure out how to play it with Brunson and Randall.
Brunson and Lillard can't play together, Stephen A. I don't like that.
I'd figure it out.
Any other wishes, Jeannie?
I'm just telling you.
Any other wishes?
I'd figure it out. I ain't say it would work.
Do you have any other stories to tell us? Things you fantasize about? Cool. All right, coming up.
Dang.
We've seen some, oh my gosh, stop talking. I mean that nicely. We've seen some outstanding playoff performances from the one and only Kobe Bryant, but which player has what it takes to